Evelyn. Evelyn Mary Elizabeth
Lamb.
Well, I'm Lamb now, but I used to be Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews. So is Evelyn, where's Evelyn from? Is Evelyn a family name or is it?
Evelyn was my mother's name, but hers was spelt differently. Hers was spelt Eveline, and mine is spelt Evelyn. So I don't know why the difference.
I suppose they just wanted to tell the difference between you.
Don't know. Nobody ever explained it to me. But in fact, I don't think my mother knew until she got her birth certificate or whatever that she was spelt that way. She never spelt it herself that way. She always spelt Evelyn.
So where's Mary Elizabeth from?
My grandmother's. You see, Mary was the name of both my grandmothers, but my paternal grandmother wanted a name of her own. So her other name was Elizabeth, so I had to have Elizabeth as well. She wasn't content with just a Mary.
So you've got part of your mother's name, part of your grandmother's name. And Lamb from Grandad.
Well, yes, when I was married, yeah.
And you were born in?
1912.
1912. Where were you born?
I was born in Old Portsmouth in Lion Terrace, just off Queen Street. I think the house is still standing. I don't know whether it's exactly as it was, because it now belongs to the university.
Oh, yes.
Or at least I suppose it does. The last time, it was years ago since I went down there, and it then belonged to the Polytechnic, so obviously it would have been handed over when it became a Polytechnic. When the Polytechnic became a university, it would have been. So I don't know if it still belongs to the university or not. But.
So it was your home? You were born at home?
No, it wasn't my home, it was my grandmother's home.
Right, so your mum was living at home?
She was staying with my paternal grandmother.
Right.
And but we were only there for 3 weeks. And it was funny, I don't know if I've ever told you that the doctor who attended me was Dr. Clark, Dr. Erskine Clark, and his surgery was down in Queen Street, but he lived next door, number 10 Lion Terrace. We were at number 11. And he had just opened his practice, and I was the first baby born into the practice. Oh. And I'm still with the same practice, because then after Dr. Clark, he took a partner, Dr. Souter, and then from then onwards, you know, the practice developed, and now of course there are quite a lot of doctors in there. But I often, you know, if I see a new doctor, I tell them that I'm their oldest patient. I might not be the oldest in years, but I'm, you know.
Yeah, you were the first one.
I've been the first one born in the practice.
Wow. And it's still there today?
Yes, but not in Queen Street, of course, but round in Stubbington Avenue.
Oh, right. Oh, is it the one that we go to?
Yeah, it's one that you go to. Yes, I was born into that practice.
How strange.
Yeah.
How long did you live in Portsmouth? Because you've moved around.
Well, I was only here for about 3 weeks, because actually my mother didn't get on very well with her mother-in-law. I think she drank or something, but she didn't get on, but she was a bit unhappy, so she packed up and left. And I was 3 weeks old, and she went to her own mother down in Blackwater.
Right.
Down in Blackwater is near Camberley.
Right.
Yeah. A little small village. Well, yes, it is a village, I suppose. It still is, really.
So she didn't have her own house?
No, because at that time my father kept moving around, you know, being in the Navy. His ship would go from port to port, and she'd go around with the ship, and we'd go to various, she'd take furnished rooms or lodgings or somewhere, wherever the ship was. So we were travelling around for about not 9 years. It was before that. I think it must have been about 4 or 5 years, because when I first started school, it was in Portsmouth, in Southsea.
Which school was that?
St Jude's.
Isn't that still there?
St Jude's is still, yes, they've still got a St Jude's school, but I don't quite know where it is now. It used to be in Marmion Road, but it isn't in Marmion Road anymore. But I wasn't there for very long, maybe a year or something, and then I went to St Bernard's, which is a private school in No, just right opposite the St John's College.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, because my brother went to St John's College and I went to St Bernard's that was immediately opposite.
So it was, you were the youngest? Were you the youngest?
Or? No. I was a year and 9 months older than my brother.
Oh, right. So quite close.
Oh, very close, yeah.
Did you get on?
Yes, we got on. Yes, we always got on. I suppose sometimes we had a little argument, but no, on the whole, we got on very well. Of course, we were absolute opposite. I was very, very fair and he was very, very dark. And apparently, when we were very young, we were both in the same pram, one at one end and a dark one and a fair one. We didn't have a khaki one.
So you must have, one of you must have looked like a changeling.
That's right, I don't know which one. Well, probably me, because my mother was very dark. You see, she was pushing the pram, and she'd got this very dark boy and then this very fair girl, so I must have looked like the changeling.
It often happens though, doesn't it? Where's the sort of earliest place you remember living?
Well, my earliest recollection would be, I think, when we were staying in Immingham, which is near Hull, and it was during the war, the First World War, I mean. And I'd be about 3, I suppose. I'd imagine I'd be about 3 or 4 years old. And I can remember very well being taken out at night when it was dark, and a German Zeppelin had been caught in the beams of the searchlights, and it looked like a silver cigar in the sky. And my mother took us out to see this. I can remember that quite well. That's one of my first images, really, that I can remember this German Zeppelin, the sky. And,
were you frightened?
Didn't know what it was. I mean, we knew my brother and I knew there was a war on, but we thought it was just men fighting like boxing match, you know. Sometimes we'd stand up on our beds and go like that. We were in the war. We were boxing each other.